and today we are going to form quantities on this decimal board and know how to read those quantities. So basically we are going to look at the units. You have the units here, this is the unit category, and the numbers less than or smaller than the units. So we look at the unit and the numbers smaller than the units. We can see our cards here. We are going to use this is the units category. This is the tenths, the hundredths, the thousands, the 10,000s, the 100,000s, and the millionth categories. So just like in the tens or hundreds or thousands, the categories here, we can have more than one quantity, we can have more than 3 tenths, we can have more than one unit, we can have several units. In the same way, we can have more than 1 tenth, for instance, here. So if I get these quantities here, for instance, this is 1 tenth, 2 tenths, 3 tenths, 4 tenths. So I go to the tenths category and look for 4 tenths. So this 4 tenths. So that's what I have on the board. 4 tenths, 4 tenths. I can form more tenths. Suppose I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 tenths, 5 tenths, 6 tenths, 7 tenths, 8 tenths. So 1 tenth, 2 tenths, 3 tenths, 4 tenths, 5 tenths, 6 tenths, 7 tenths, 8 tenths. So I go to the tenths category and look for 8 tenths. So my 8 tenths, the 8 tenths. Let's form other quantities. Suppose I leave this 8 tenths, or let's see. Suppose I have 8 tenths already here, and if I decide to make it 9 tenths, 10 tenths, you remember? So 10 tenths, 1 tenth, 2 tenths, 3 tenths, 4 tenths, 5 tenths, 6 tenths, 7 tenths, 8 tenths, 9 tenths, 10 tenths. Remember, we stop and exchange the 10 tenths for one of the next higher category, which is 1 unit. So I'm going to exchange these tenths, 10 tenths. I'll exchange the 10 tenths for 1 unit. So I have 1 unit. Okay, let's form more quantities. Suppose I have 3 tenths. 1 tenth, 2 tenths, 3 tenths. And I have, in the hundredths category, I have 2 hundredths. 1 hundredth, 2 hundredths. So what will I do? I'll go to the tenths category and look for 3 tenths. 3 tenths. And then the hundredths. So I have my 3 tenths here for this. And then for the hundredths category, I go to hundredths and look for 2 hundredths. I have 2 hundredths here. And I put them together. You remember our magic slide? So what I have here is 32 hundredths. 32 hundredths. Suppose I change my quantities. So I have 5 tenths here and I have 3 hundredths here. Let's say 400, 500, 600. So how am I going to read that? I go to the tenths category, I look for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 tenths. So let's look for 5 tenths. 5 tenths. Now I go to my hundredths category, I look for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 hundredths. I look for 6 hundredths. them together. So what do I have? I have 56 hundredths. So this is 56 hundredths. 56 hundredths. So let's put more quantities here in the thousandth category. Suppose I decide to put 2,000s here in the thousands category. So now what am I going to have? I'm going to look for 2,000 here. To represent this 2,000, add to this one. So what do I have now? What I have is 562 thousands. 562 thousands. I can go on and on and on. So it will be our own turn to form quantities and get the cards to match the quantities that will form on the board. Well, let's do maybe 2 more examples. Suppose I decide to add more quantities here. Suppose I decide to add quantities in the 10,000s category, 1 10,000, 2 10,000s, 3 10,000s, 4 10,000s. So now I have 4 10,000s. So what am I going to have? So let's look for let's go to the thousands, 10,000s category and look for 4 10,000s. So this shows me 4 10,000s. So you can see the 5 tenths, the 600s, the 2,000s, and the 4 10,000s. So what I have here is 5,624 10,000s. 5,624 10,000s. I can decide to add more quantities. Suppose I add 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, 500,000, 600,000, 700,000. So that means I have 5 tenths, 600s, 2,000s, 4 10,000s, and 700,000. So I go to the 100,000s category and look for 700,000. So this is 700,000 to represent this quantity. Add that to it. So how do I read this number? 56,247 hundred thousandths. 56,247 hundred thousandths. Suppose I decide to add some quantities in the millions category. Let me add just 1 million. So this is 1 millionth. And I have the 1 millionth card here. So this is 1 millionth. Present this. If I add it to this. Now, how do I read this quantity? 562,471 millionth. 562,471 millionth. So you can go ahead . Go ahead.